All right, cool. So, recording. Thanks for doing this, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate you, letting me kind of chase this down, because I'm not exactly sure yet what the story is.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
it seems like something to chase down.
You know, what I'll say about it, and not to interrupt you, is at first when you reached out to me and asked me about it, my initial thought was, I don't know if there's much of a story here. But I think if I'm hearing myself say some of the things that I've been experiencing, I'll just have a much better understanding of like what exactly has happened. Because I felt a bit other planet lately, kind of here, but like not sure like what really comes next.
It's like the only one I can find is like right here, and it's like, and then boom, shit went real bad.
I think for years now, I've been like hell-bent to change the world. Man, I want to do something that is earth-shaking.
Mike, the stage is yours.
I'm here today to talk about a really awesome project that I've been working on for about 2 years. Obviously, you can see it here. My team and I created a combination backpack and tent. So it's literally a backpack that deploys a tent out the back of it. Why? Well, we actually began the project not necessarily to be an adventure brand, but we actually began the project to provide shelter, protection, and access for homeless individuals on the streets. What we wanted to do was create a product that could combine everyone's enthusiasm for adventure and discovery, but make it accessible and easy to use. It's made here in America, and it's made by the hands of deaf and blind individuals. So our manufacturer is out of Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. We partner with National Industries for the Blind. In doing so, we're able to employ people with disabilities and multi-disabilities. And let me tell you, it's a pretty amazing thing to watch someone who can't see make what I'm wearing right now. As a company, we give 10% of all of our profit to a national organization called Covenant House. Covenant House does have a local chapter here in Houston that we do a lot of work with as well. Matter of fact, in May of this year, I walked from Houston to Austin, Texas with this backpack, and only this backpack, to raise money and awareness for homeless teenagers. So our mission is to honestly just engage the consumer with a product that's easy to use, that doesn't have to sit in their garage all but 3 days out of the year. The way you spell our company name is T-E-N-A-T-I-V, Tentative. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of them. Get behind us, and thank y'all for y'all's time. There was this space in me that always kind of struggled with, well, like, if that's the motive of what I'm doing, why wouldn't it become successful? Not necessarily because I'm doing good things, but just because in life you're told, like, hey, like, do good things and good things will return to you. And after a while, if I'm honest with you, like, it becomes less and less about why you started it and more just about, like, I have to make it. And that's kind of been how I've been living my life the last 4 years. So like when you take that and then you consider how much you have to believe in yourself, how much you have to coach yourself, how much you have to, you know, hustle, for lack of a better word, a lot of stuff just becomes about you. You try to stay, here, back up. One more. We're gonna try to keep the concrete out of it and just keep focus on the trees. You know, I would say about 3 years ago is when I first started to notice, like, hey, there's something going on. My body is no longer operating within like the way I know it should be. Daily, I'm in a position where I feel like I need to take multiple naps, achy, running random fevers. Suddenly I'm cold all the time. So slowly I started growing these lesions in my head. First it was 1, 2, 3. Saw a few dermatologists, paid out of pocket. All of them had something entirely different to say about what it was. Eventually I just said, screw it, like I can't afford to do anything about this. And so I literally started wearing a hat every day. I think for the past 3 years of my life, I don't know if anyone's seen me without a hat on my head. And it's because my head's covered in lesions. Well, yeah, like I know something's going on, I know I'm a little sick. You can't do anything about it right now. Like you don't have any money, like you don't have insurance. So you can do something about them when you earn those things. So get yourself successful. And when you get there, then you can take care of it.
Hey man, I'm driving with Josh Anderson in the car.
I think even my closest friends didn't have an understanding of what I was telling them when I would say like, hey, like I have these bumps in my head and my body's hurting. They said, oh man, like it's not that bad.
In life, dude.
I masked and hid kind of what was really happening with me for so long, and had the ability to operate as though everything is fine, everything's okay, with so many people that the idea of like me actually being severely sick was a pretty foreign idea to not only myself, but also like all the friends that I have. I think there's this doubt of like, will I ever get better? Coupled with, well, will you ever make it? Will you ever become somebody? And when your measurement of success coincides with essentially giving yourself lashes, that becomes a pretty dismal internal experience of life. I punished myself until I became successful. My health was quickly deteriorating, but it just so happened that like within 3 weeks of that, like we were actually launching our company officially via Kickstarter.
Modal Plus Totem were designed to simplify the way you travel, and we're so excited to bring this product to you on Kickstarter. Over the next few weeks, we're gonna ask you for all the help we can get from you. Tweet about us, Facebook, share us with all your friends, and most of all, support our campaign. We can't do this without you, and over the next month, we look forward to being a part of this journey with you. My name is Michael Stevenson, and I'm the founder of Tentative.
I had a great launch party out the gates, a lot of success, a lot of buzz. I remember thinking like, wow, like all this hard work, is it gonna pay off? Things are gonna go well. And 30 days from now, not only like will your company be successful and be able to put these products that you've worked so hard for in people's hands and get on with the movement that you wish to inspire, but you might actually be able to go to a doctor. Process of trying to get all this stuff off the ground and not having any money. I had to move out of my comfortable home in the Houston Heights where I've been living for about 5 years. And so now I'm living back home with my parents.
That's why they gonna win. Like we can't give away our recipe.
One night, family ends up going to bed. And my heart began to palpitate, but severely. Like I'd actually been experiencing the palpitations happening for the last month. But at this point, honestly, I thought that I'm probably not gonna make it to the morning. And I, fall on the floor and crying a lot. I felt like I wasn't done yet in life. And then this idea, or this voice, or this word just said to me, get up and take yourself to the hospital. I hadn't been able to stand up all day, and suddenly I'm up on my feet.
I do remember getting to the emergency room, and quickly I was having, an EKG scan done. They put me in a CAT scan, taking multiple blood samples. The infectious disease doctor come in. He's going back through the medical history and kind of asking me all these questions about, like, how long has this been going on? And he asked me about my job. And I kind of told him about my current job and that, I had a full-time job that didn't necessarily pay me anything. And I remember him just saying, like, you've gone this long without taking care of yourself? Like, you mean to tell me, like, that you've gone so long knowing that you had this going on that you didn't come sooner? Man, you could have come sooner. One of the first things they saw once they got blood samples back was that my white blood cell count had escalated to now 33,000. And she sits down and she just explains to me that based on the blood tests that she's found, I definitely have an autoimmune disease that's likely lupus. And then she also says that, she says, I'm not gonna tell you that you have anything beyond lupus. I'm not gonna tell you you have cancer. But at this point, I can't rule cancer out. That's when I lost it at. Just had this moment that was like, man, you either have lupus or you have cancer. Like, what the fuck does that even mean, At the exact moment that a surgeon is in my room cutting open some of these lesions to just relieve some of the pressure from my scalp, the clock has just ticked to 8 p.m. Our Kickstarter campaign did not fund. A failed company, no money, living with my parents at the age of 28, and being in the hospital with a bill that I have no idea what it's gonna be when I get out. All the things I thought I wanted, like, I literally don't have any of them. I think that's the day that, the idea of success drastically changed for me. I was reminded of this story where I was in kindergarten, and it was like this day where, like, all the best kids in each grade, K through 5, gets to go and sit at this special table called the rainbow table. My rainbow day came at, like, the very end of the year. I end up at the table, and all the first 2 fifth graders, they just happened for that month to be special needs students. And my dad actually came to lunch with me that day to kind of celebrate, like, my success, if you will. And so you're 5 years old, and you're sitting at a table with all the special needs students, and you're getting made fun of for it. And I remember sitting there looking at my dad, who was so compassionate to those students, because he actually, he walked with a limp his entire life from the time he was a child. And I remember thinking, like, man, like, for the rest of my life, like, this is a table that I want to sit at. And that week in the hospital, I finally felt like I was back at that table. I have nothing right now. And for the first time in my life, like, the idea of having nothing actually makes me feel like I have everything. Hello. So, question for you. Are you okay if they listen in on our conversation today?
You know what? That's going to be your call. It's a privacy
Yes, ma'am.
issue.
I'm okay with it as long as you are.
All right. All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. How are you?
So, I'm still on the antibiotic. I can't pronounce it.
Doxycycline?
Yes, ma'am. Doxycycline. I've definitely noticed that, like, the pain isn't chronic in my scalp anymore. Like, I can actually lay my head on a pillow. I still get new
spots are still popping up.
So,
but I mean, it looks a lot better.
But I think it looks a whole heck of a lot better.
Is it still trending towards improvement?
I believe so.
Okay.
I mean, I also want to believe so very badly. So I think, it's both. I think it's doing better. I know it's doing better.
Okay. There is something called hidradenitis suppurativa, and it usually hits the groin area and under the arms. And I've never seen it hit the scalp, but that's kind of what it was acting like, which is it's a funky thing where it's almost like there's some interconnecting infections in there. And anybody with a chronic infection can have their immune system get turned on. When your immune system turned on, you can have achiness and soreness. They sent you to me because you had this low positive lupus test. And this just isn't lupus looking. It's not the discoid lupus that you see that will affect scalp and stuff. I can tell you just on a common sense basis, it sounds like it is bacterial, right? Because it's responding to the antibiotics. So if this all goes away with just like a better antibiotic regimen and the rashes start cleaning up, I would expect a lot of this to get better as well.
Awesome.
So, before I jump on playing with your immune system, let's go back to derm, and now that you have a bit more classic presentation, and see what they have to say.
Excellent.
As far as seeing me back, if you are doing 100% better and this all fades away, you don't really need to see me, but at least give me a call and let me know what happened. 'Cause, when you see something unusual, that doesn't mean I won't see it again, and next poor person, hopefully, will catch it sooner.
Okay. Thank you.
All right?
I appreciate that.
All right.
So, did you just say it might not be lupus?
She just said it might not be lupus. The best Michael that I know is one that exists when he's aware of his weaknesses. When he's aware of his limitations and what he can and cannot do. Because it's only in that place that I experience all the really neat, cool, and possible things. I think this experience just really shows me that I just want to be in this place for as long as I live. To be aware of my limitations, and if that means that I might miss the success boat, but I get to live a full, happy life, I think I'm okay with that.